whispering walls. The old Brooks mansion had always been the subject of hushed whispers in the small town of Riverview. For as long as anyone could remember, it had stood at the edge of the forest, abandoned and decaying. Most people avoided it, but those who ventured close swore they heard faint, sorrowful whispers carried on the wind. When Olivia and her friends decided to spend the night there, they thought it would be nothing more than a spooky adventure. The mansion's front door creaked open with a groan as they stepped inside, the air thick with dust and the smell of mildew. Cobwebs hung like curtains from the ceiling, and the floorboards creaked under their feet. "Let's split up and explore," Olivia suggested, her voice tinged with excitement. The group agreed, each of them taking a different part of the mansion. Olivia wandered through the darkened hallways, her flashlight beam cutting through the shadows. The mansion was eerily silent, save for the occasional drip of water from some unseen leak. She pushed open the door to a small, dusty bedroom, and as she stepped inside, she heard it. A faint whisper, barely audible. She froze, listening intently. The whisper came again, clearer this time. It was a voice, soft and desperate, saying her name. "Olivia?" A chill ran down her spine. "Guys?" she called out, but her voice seemed to be swallowed by the darkness. She turned to leave the room, but the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Panic set in as she tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispering grew louder, more insistent. "Olivia, help me." She spun around, her flashlight flickering as it illuminated the room. That's when she saw it. A figure, pale and translucent, standing in the corner. The figure was of a woman, her face twisted in sorrow. Her eyes were hollow, empty voids that seemed to draw Olivia in. "Who are you?" Olivia stammered, backing away. The woman didn't answer, but the whispers grew louder, overlapping, becoming a cacophony of voices. They spoke of pain, of suffering, of a darkness that had consumed them all. Olivia's breath came in ragged gasps as the room seemed to close in on her. She felt an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the walls themselves were alive, watching her, judging her. The whispers became screams, and the ghostly figure began to advance on her. Desperate, Olivia threw herself against the door, and this time it flew open. She stumbled out into the hallway, her friends nowhere in sight. The mansion seemed to twist and shift around her, the walls narrowing as if trying to trap her within. She ran, her heart pounding, but every door she tried led to another room, another dead end. The whispers followed her, growing more frenzied, more malevolent. Finally, she burst into the grand foyer, where the front door stood ajar. Relief flooded her as she sprinted toward it. But just as she reached the threshold, the door slammed shut, knocking her to the ground. Olivia looked up to see the ghostly woman standing over her, her expression one of sorrow and rage. "You cannot leave," the woman whispered, her voice a mix of all the tormented souls trapped within the mansion's walls. "We are all part of this house now." The last thing Olivia saw before the darkness swallowed her was the walls closing in, the whispers becoming deafening, and the cold, icy touch of the spirits pulling her into the shadows. The Brooks mansion stood silent once more, its secrets locked away within its whispering walls, waiting for the next curious soul to venture in.